Here's another one on the gut microbiota, malnutrition, and immunity. A quick overview for those that aren't aware, the gut microbiome is basically the bacteria that live symbiotically with us inside of our intestines. And the type and distribution of these microbiota influence things like our energy balance, internal inflammation, and can also aid us in digestion. Now, it's been shown that the gut microbiota is altered after viral clearance, so this is impacted by COVID itself, with one factor being that COVID can increase the number of short-chain fatty acids, which is correlated with increased gut inflammation and killing off our natural gut microbiota. During a COVID infection, opportunistic bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus can take advantage and grow, further destabilizing the internal gut microbiota. And COVID depleting these good bacteria inside of us can cause changes to the innate and adaptive immune systems, particularly if these two species right here, which are butyrate producers, if those are damaged, then it can dysregulate our T cells. While these types of bacteria that are impacted by higher levels of short-chain fatty acids can result in damage to the mucosal barrier, which is that inner lining of the small intestines itself. And while we don't know if COVID is causing these alterations directly of the gut microbiota, or if the fact that COVID is just damaging the gut microbiome itself is allowing other opportunistic bacteria to take advantage, we don't know which way it's going or if it's both. Importantly, while fecal microbiota transplant is really beneficial for patients with things like because COVID is present within the stool itself, this is very limiting of the treatments, and studies like this haven't been able to be performed because you can essentially transfer, if you're doing this fecal transfer, you can transfer COVID from an infected patient to a compromised patient, which could imply that in the future we might actually be able to sell our feces to companies so that it can help regulate other people that have had COVID infections, for those of us that have never contracted COVID. Now on to malnutrition, which incorporates both undernutrition and obesity. So malnutrition on either side of the spectrum seems to be inevitable for COVID patients because of the influence on energy requirements and changes in the GI system, where a lot of times we're seeing this vitamin D deficiency present in a lot of these COVID patients and post-COVID patients. One of the things vitamin D does is help to modulate the gut microbiome and maintain diversity. And diversity within your microbiome, different types of bacteria species living inside of you, is a good thing. However, vitamin D also increases the expression of ACE2 receptors, so having too much would be not beneficial for a COVID infection. But then on the other side, having too little, having a vitamin D deficiency, can cause GI inflammation and the progression of this pro-inflammatory activation. And then also recall that vitamin D plays an important role in enhancing the immune system. So if you have low levels of vitamin D, you're going to have low levels of these T cell counts. Interestingly, a high-fat diet can affect the gut ACE2 expression. So eating more fatty foods could be linked to higher COVID severity. And then a lot of these issues from the malnutrition that we've discussed that are addressed afterwards with nutritional interventions, the patients seem not to fully recover